You sounded like you're tired. You went.
What's the episode?
Is it because you didn't? It's because you didn't get to buy that car. Is that what?
No,
he didn't take care of you.
No, I messaged my buddy and he was like,
"Fuck no."
He's like, "I would invest your money in a different vehicle."
That's what I told. 107, June 24th, 5:28 Monday. Now we can talk. So what happened?
A Camden experience happened.
It wasn't. You know what?
Full-fledged.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
When I said, "Has this car been underwater?" he actually looked pondered and like, "What do you mean?" I mean, like in the river. Has it ever been in the river, with water above the fucking windows? No. When we opened the hood, though, there was 2 squirrel nests and probably 5 gallons of mouse shit in there.
Not to mention all the wires that were crimped.
But I love when you open a hood and there's just
animals,
random
wires.
Speaker wire that's just hanging out, just chilling
or
there all by itself.
Cords. I even like better when the end of the cord is still on it.
So he shows up, and I was like, "Send me some pictures." I was going to forward them to my buddy. He's a Honda guy, and John was like, "Bring it up here." Which at first I was like, let me do my research first. Then I realized you get a whole lot of diagnostic on the front end just telling them to bring it here. So
I just wanted you to have the full experience.
Like,
what I tell you, no matter what happens, it is going to be worth our time to see the car.
So 45 minutes later, he shows up with a brand new battery in it. I was like, that just got put in.
You had to push it to Walmart.
It was what I offered him still high.
A kid showed up here, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Knew that I had snakes. And I'm like, how do you know I have snakes? He's like, I know your son. I went to high school with him. And he's kind of like sad, and he's in love with this snake, and it's his best pet. And it's...
What if he still has it?
It's an ugly snake. Nothing like, it's cool for around here, but like if you don't know snakes, it's a cool snake. It's a boa. And he's like, call this, call that. I'm like, I have a bunch of call boas. Like, I have a bunch of fucking high dollar, expensive fucking boas. You haven't seen shit. Like, I didn't tell him that. And I'm like, what do you want for this thing? He's like, I need to pay rent. It's $300. I'm gonna sell it for $300. I hate to sell him. I just have to pay rent. My girlfriend and I think he said she's pregnant. And I'm like,
she was, yeah.
So we talked for a few minutes. I'm like, look, man. I'm not going to buy somebody else's boa or somebody else's animal and take it into my collection. Like my room, my building over there, there's no mites, there's no parasites, there's nothing there. Nothing gets introduced there. Like, I don't even take fucking people in there, really. So I'm like, dude, I'm not going to buy your snake. I go, you seem pretty attached to this thing. You keep it. Here's $300. Show up to work Monday, and I'll give you a job. And he did. He showed up Monday, and he worked, or tomorrow, whatever the next day was. He worked for a few days. Maybe a month, maybe lasted a month. But, like, he was always a bare minimum dude. Like, he told me how he was losing the house and had to pay for the apartment and had to do all this shit. Well, we had hours, but he never worked the hours. Like, he would show up usually late or something would happen. There was always some fucking nonsense. And then at 5 o'clock, he'd fucking be out the door and didn't even say he's leaving. I'm like, hey, you said you need hours? I have fucking hours. Like, we feed you breakfast. We feed you fucking lunch. There is fucking hours to work. I thought you needed hours. And then there was some song and dance about how he's got to quit and he's got a job making... What?
You forgot when because you said that to him one time and he said, well, I gotta get to my second job. And you're like, your second job? What the fuck are you doing? He goes,
I feed chickens on the farm.
Yeah, I feed chickens on the farm for my grandma. And you're like, well, how much does that pay? And he's like, I think he said, was it $8 an hour or something like that? Or something. So he goes, well, you make more money here. Why do you give a shit about those chickens?
I go, which one of these jobs is more important to you? The one where you're making hundreds of dollars a week? Or the one where you're making fucking $20 a week? Whatever it is, right? I go, you're looking at shit wrong. I go, you're the one that walked in here trying to sell a snake that you fucking have had and raised since a little puppy. And I gave you them. Like, we never did. I never made him pay me back. He never offered to pay me back. Anyways, that kid showed up here today. And he goes, you know anybody that would trade a Honda, what was it, a Pilot? Honda?
No, Passport.
Honda Passport. It's a little SUV thing. looks like an Isuzu Rodeo, for a motorcycle. And it didn't dawn on me. I have a bunch of motorcycles. He probably knew I had them. He'd probably seen some of them in the garage or something. So I was the place he thought of. So anyways, Pierre offered him $700. He wanted $2,000. He wanted $3,000. It's worth $3,000.
Books for 35.
Books for 35, but I'll let you have it for $2,000. Pierre's like, we're too far apart, man. He goes, well, what do you want? He goes, I don't want to insult you. He goes, and so he kept going. So Pierre's like, I'll give you $700 for it.
My thought was if on a horrible deal I scrap it and I still get half my money back.
Shit, my thought was we buy it for $1,000. Buy it $1,000 in my head. We buy it and give it to the kid, but the kid's already got a fucking nicer truck than
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the kid working.
Yeah.
We just hired a new kid. So
Yeah, it needed tires. It needed all types of shit.
what did you do this weekend?
Tractor mostly.
Listen to some rad 8-tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have an 8-track player?
Yeah,
Do
of
8-tracks
course.
skip? I'm not being a smart
What do you
ass.
mean skip?
I'm asking a legit question.
No, they're cassette tapes.
There's a big cassette tape. Right? Yeah. Okay.
'Cause it depends on what you mean by skip, because like you could forward an 8-track tape
Yeah.
by pushing a button.
No, he needs
They
to
would
skip
make it
like
go,
a CD.
but it would skip, so it would click, and you never knew where it was going to stop. Like it didn't stop at the beginning of the song.
Yeah,
it would just chunk, and then it would be
But
halfway
I
into
did
the
have
other song.
I did have a cassette that would play to the next. It would stop. It would fast.
the
And
next
stop
song,
at the
yeah.
next song where that dead air was.
8-track didn't do that.
Have you ever listened to a cassette? Did you ever see a cassette tape?
Yeah, I had cassette tapes. There was
Even
the
CD
stand-up
players
show.
don't skip now.
there was this stand-up.
Billy, well,
No, it was
Fox
it was actually overseas
Laurel
in
Hardy.
Lebanon. You're not even gonna guess it ever in a bazillion years.
No,
So
nobody's-
it was like
nobody's
it
gonna
was a
guess.
comedic play, and the only way to listen to it was on cassette, and I listened to it all the time and would make jokes about
in the
it.
United States we had Disney.
Yeah, this guy was probably like the Disney of Lebanon. He really was.
All 7,000 people. How big is Lebanon?
Its peak is probably a couple million.
Florida big?
Smaller than Delaware.
Fucking where is Delaware?
Yeah, it's tiny enough that the Israelis put a wall all the way around it.
Around Lebanon?
No, they didn't.
They put a wall.
I was
all the
gonna-
way
Israelis
around.
tried-
that was my
Israelis
next
tried
question.
to-
Small enough. It's small enough that
Okay,
Does it touch Lebanon? Does it touch Israel?
Israel,
It's small enough that
Israel, Jordan, Syria.
Are you guys friends with
Turkey.
Are you guys friends with
No,
Israel?
for 25, 30 years, Israel's been trying to take over Lebanon.
it's small enough.
trying to?
Yeah.
And they couldn't? They
That's an
didn't want
interesting
it.
statement.
Yeah,
It is-
yeah, they
every-
didn't want it. If
Every
they
couple
wanted
of
it-
years,
No.
it's an interesting statement.
Come on now, be fair.
It's an interesting statement. Every couple of years, the Israelis take over Lebanon, and then they're like,
We don't want
"Oh
this.
shit, we
You
don't
have
want
it
this.
back."
Let's get back behind the
No,
walls."
I always
No,
picture Lebanon
they pushed-
as
they pushed-
jungle. Is it not jungle?
It's
It used
not
to be-
desert.
Before
It's not jungle, and it's not. What is it?
Coastal. It's like so
Because fucking
About 4
Tennessee's not
miles in-
desert. Because it's fucking jungle.
about 5
I
miles
guess
in.
there is a difference between jungle and forest.
well,
Yeah.
before just
About
before
5 miles
the,
in, there's a mountain, and then there's the valley, and then there's Syria.
before the war. Or, so you got to say which war, but before
Well, it's
before
it
shit
hasn't
really
stopped.
before the shit really kicked off in the 80s, it was like the it would have been like the Cosimo of Europe. Everybody
was
everybody
the hub.
went there. Everybody it was a really
All
nice
the
place to go.
Saudis and all the proper Middle Eastern countries that wanted to party would go to Lebanon. All the Europeans didn't want to go to the
So
real
you go
Middle Eastern-
disco.
Yeah.
That's where disco was the shit.
Was Scrappy Coco hanging out, chilling?
Well, maybe.
He's probably already here by now.
How was your day?
It was good.
Fucking went fast. Holy
Man, I didn't
fuck,
do anything
man.
but shit. I
When
went
that,
through a roll
when that
and a half
alarm
of
went
tape.
off, I'm like, we just had snack. What's that alarm?
I went through a roll and a half of tape.
Four reams of boxes
You did?
today.
And I was like, and every time I turn around, I'm like, this motherfucker. I think he started fucking with me.
That's why I go,
'Cause the-
man, you're shipping really
The
slow.
packages I would take, he would replace them in that same spot. The
he
fucking
used to-
dickhead.
Yeah,
like
he'd
I
do
just
that to
shipped
me,
that.
too.
I just shipped that. I couldn't catch up.
It's the darkness, man.
I got ahead. No, I got ahead.
The boys are fucking rolling through that
Yeah,
shit, man. I
which
just
is good.
handed them another 50 sheets. They're cutting
That's
a ton
good
of stuff,
because we
yeah.
got more sewers now too.
One
Well,
Well,
and a half.
which one?
His grandma.
She hasn't said anything yet.
no,
Oh.
She's not even on production.
she will be soon.
Like, Doris says good shit about her, but we don't have her actually working.
What's
on
she doing?
anything. Just sewing squares, sewing Velcro. And...
Oh, okay. She said she knew when she walked in.
Can you sew? Yes. On an industrial machine, no. There's a difference. There's a
I can hand her my shirt and she can sew the seam with a needle.
She could fix the hole in your sock.
Yeah.
Like she could.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
She seems like she's doing really well though.
That's good.
So I'll bet in the next day or so she's on real work.
What did you do this weekend?
Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, there's some good twists in it. KGB,
Did you stay awake?
KGB, baby. Yeah, I didn't go to sleep at all.
Oh shit! It must have been a really good movie.
Oh, time to go see it next week.
Really good movie. I wanted to do a whole like movie review thing where it's just John.
Yeah.
And you talk about at what point does he fall asleep in the movie, and that's how you rate the movie. On
the
John
farther in, the
Sleep
better.
Yeah. It's very rare for him to stay awake all the way through. Yeah.
I was stimulated. Yeah, it was good. It was at the Big D Theater.
Is that by me?
That's the one with all the food and shit, you know.
The one in Franklin?
Yeah, they serve sushi and margaritas. Oh, you don't know. Inside the theater, there's a whole nother theater. You probably don't venture back on that side. There's a police officer there and shit.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
You you stay on the lower. Yes, there is.
The one in Franklin or the one in Green Hills?
The one where the Cars and Coffee is.
I've been in there.
Then why don't you know they have sushi?
I didn't know they had sushi. They must have just recently had sushi.
For like 2 years.
Really?
When they did all that huge.
Good?
Yeah. Yeah, they
Really?
have like 3 fucking different rolls.
Oh, maybe they did. I didn't know.
They have, they have fucking 50 different.
Every time we
bar.
okay, so their mojito's really good.
It's really expensive.
It's super expensive.
I bought 100 between Amanda and I and the 2 boys. I think it was like $150. I mean, I had a margarita. That's probably a $12 margarita. I had 2 sushi rolls that are like $12 a piece, probably.
Yeah, it's not. I like that. The only reason we go to that one with the food is because you get the seats. You get the nice seats with that.
Yeah, well, we sat in one yesterday that was not on the food side.
Yeah.
Had the same seats. Not they didn't recline, but they're still decent
bigger,
seats.
Yeah.
They're numbered, so you buy your seats before you, I wish though on the app they showed, because I want to be right by the stairs, right on the aisle.
Yeah.
I wish they showed you where the fuck that was. That's the only thing they could add that would make it better.
So we don't ever buy them beforehand because Jess gets them through work.
Right.
So we have to like hand the ticket in.
Right.
And the lady's like, "There's an upcharge," and I was like, "Okay, how much is the upcharge?" And she's like, 50 cents a seat. I was like, "It'll be okay."
You got motherfuckers bringing their own buckets of popcorn to refill. Like they have frequent. Like that is a thing.
Yeah. So it's $40 for the bucket, and then it's $2 every time you fill it.
Whatever.
What?
They're bringing their own cups and shit to refill.
Yeah, you can like for the year, and they
those are some serious fucking movie goers.
That theater sucks dick.
You don't like that theater?
No.
Oh, I like it.
I
go on like the fucking the big auditorium one.
Yeah.
Like if you get there early, you're back on that other side without all the common folks.
Right.
And they have their own concessions back there. They got a fucking restaurant back there.
Yeah. So the theater we had in Michigan was like all they gave a shit about was like every time the movie started, it was like an intro from the owner of the franchise, and he would be like, "Thank you for," like it was real like personable, and all they gave a shit about was customer service. So the seats were real nice.
Like us.
I mean, yeah. The food was really good, and it wasn't that expensive. So you could go, and you could get a pizza, and they would make the pizza fresh. Like it wasn't like the frozen ones that they sell here. It was like a real pie with dough, and they would bake it in this wood oven, and
we're putting ovens in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
it'd change a whole lot of stuff. And then it would be like $60, which is not bad for popcorn, drinks, and dinner.
Real fucking pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
So they just put one of those. I think it's a dining theater movie place in Jackson.
Okay.
Right by Gander Mountain. We have not been there yet.
Yeah. This
in
place
that mall, in that area right there by Gander Mountain.
We're right by Gander Mountain.
We ordered those. Jess loves those like shitty microwave pizzas.
Hot Pockets.
Not the Hot Pocket, but like the half
bread
ones, the French bread ones, the fancy. So I was like, all right, let's get a couple of those.
More bread than pizza.
Yeah, and they were like, it was cold. Like not like the Super Center where it's like okay, fine.
Still frozen in the middle.
The whole motherfucker was cold, and I was like, so we stopped.
Where was that at?
So we stopped eating there. We'll get popcorn and drinks.
You don't go to a movie theater to buy fucking pizza.
The mojito's really good.
Is it 3 inches tall?
No, it's so the trick is we go.
You bring your own.
You go up to the bar before you sit down, and you say, "I want the biggest cup you've got," and make a mojito out of it. And then they charge like 3 shots of whatever rum or whatever it is, and it's really not that expensive for what it is.
Mojito has rum in it.
Yeah, and then
mint.
She likes it.
Well, that's what's important.
If she enjoys it, you can get it. But other than that, and the
What'd you do on the tractor?
Brush hog.
Really? You got a 6-foot brush hog?
Yeah.
That's child's play.
It is child's play when you look at
no
How
shit,
many acres do you
motherfucker.
have?
when
You
you look at the
need
property.
a bat wing.
How many acres do you have?
17.
So when you
But
look
like,
at it and
but like 15 of it could be brush hogged.
you look at it and you're like, man, I got to do this 6 feet at a time. So basically, what I wanted to do was I broke it up into 2 pieces. So I did half of it, and then I'll let the other half grow for 30, and then I'll do that half. So that way I'm not
Why are you
out
cutting
there for
all
10
that? Why
hours.
don't you just fucking leave it for hay or straw or something?
Because nobody's been like, hey, you want us to
Can
take
I
all
buy
that
your-
shit?
can
You
I
want all
bail
that
your
grass?
shit?
I told my neighbor, I'm like, you could have that shit. I mean, you could have it. And he's like, nah, I'll just brush hog it.
Yours? I'll
Yeah.
just brush hog it
I'll
for
just
you.
brush hog it. So,
We'll bring my tractor over there and brush hog it.
well, can you do it with your tractor? You got to buy that attachment,
Yes.
the brush hog attachment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it'll do it super fast.
I don't know. I don't know if it will. Cause
Tracks are gonna go way faster
It's-
because
the-
your shit's like throwing you all over the place.
Oh, it was definitely a ride because I decided to go against the grain this time. So the whole way I was like, bam, bam, but
you could die at any minute.
Is it behind you?
Does your tractor have a roll bar?
brush hog's about speed. You can't go fast brush hogging.
Well, you can in the skid steer.
No.
Yeah, the brush hog's different.
Mm,
We'll use a forestry mulcher.
well, that's different.
We'll till that. We'll just come out there with
And till it all.
We'll just till the whole fucking field in. Then you'll have all kinds of crazy shit
Growing, yeah.
Disturb the soil and see what happens. Out of the 500 plus views, please leave more comments. Thanks for the awesome podcast video and gear. The topics y'all cover are perfect combination for any and all listeners, viewers possible. You all offer a huge variety of content, everything from business, e-commerce, awesome stories, tips, social media, knowledge, podcast recommendations, book recommendations, music recommendations, topics to research, advice, preparedness topics, much, much more, and fun shenanigans. Rob Bailey and Hustle Standard are incredible. Thank you, John and Skully, Pierre, the entire crew. Question: what have been your favorite or most successful apps used with Shopify? I just got an email today. We're in the top tier for... We have an abandoned cart checkout. I don't remember what app it was, but I just got an email, like an actual personalized email. You're one of our top... We had 57 abandoned cart checkouts that actually came back and fulfilled last week. They want to interview me for something. We get that from Shopify too. We're in the top 3% of all Shopify stores that started at the same time we did. So they always want us to write some blurb, or they actually want to do an actual call-in video interview with us this time on it. We have a lot of them. If you have a Shopify store and you want to know, send me an email and I'll tell you. Just tell me what you want to know, and I'll tell you as best I can, or I'll put you with Amanda and what we use for that. Shopify is cool because it's like having a smartphone. You buy their package, but there is a plug-in app for everything. There's a plug-in app for credit cards. They have their own thing for credit cards. There's a plug-in app for you got 20 options for shipping programs. They have their own shipping program now. You can use whatever you want. I highly recommend, in setting up any of those, if you're going with Shopify, have 3 means of if you're in business, have 3 lines of fucking everything. 3 lines of supply for every single thing you use, and that includes their merchant account stuff. So Shopify hounded us. I mean fucking hounded us. Like, dudes called us from Shopify, hey, we want you to use our shopping cart software, because we just kept ignoring their emails. We were using Stripe, and then we've got another one also, Stripe and something else. So they're like, we'll give you a 0.5% better interest rate on this if you go with us over whatever we were using. So we did it, and we used them for 3 years almost, 2.5, 3 years. We ran over $9 million, $8.5 million through them on the merchant account. And overnight, one night, they're like, "Oh, you're selling vitamins and supplements. You're canceled." We're like, "Okay, well, we'll remove those from the site. Can you just turn this back on?" "Oh no, it has nothing to do with us. The bank that provides that doesn't allow for that." Well, motherfucker, it was there like when you hounded us, and we've been doing this for 3 fucking years. Luckily, we had another merchant provider. We had 2 other merchant providers. We were able to just click literally a box. We were able to re-click that and unclick the other one, and it went seamless. Had we not had those set up, it's a 3-day, 72-hour process, and a lot of times we wouldn't have been able to take credit cards through the website of any sort. We'd have had to funnel everything through PayPal.
You know what's crazy about that, though? When you think about it, the crazy thing is, guaranteed, especially the way things are running, the way things run right now, it's probably the same goddamn bank.
Probably.
It's probably the same bank.
Probably so. So, like, the best advice, I know you asked about apps. The honest answer is I don't fucking know. Pierre probably knows, looking at the backside of it better than I do right now. But if you got a question, man, send me an email directly, and we'll get it a real answer for you. Right?
Yes.
Ken Schmidt, episode 103, about loud exhaust has me rolling. 1986, I was 19-year-old private at Fort Campbell. Had me a 76 C10 with a 350. 19 and 86. I want to say I was 19 in 1990. I was supposed to graduate, so 91. I was supposed to graduate in 90 or 91, so that would have put me at like 18. Ran headers with thrush pipes, bolted to the collectors. My exhaust ended at my feet. Now that was
Jesus Christ,
yes,
that sounded like shit.
dude. I've been around some cars that are so fucking, well, you have, I'm sure, like real race cars, right?
Fucking make your ear bleed.
I've never had them bleed, but you get that itching and your nose starts running.
Yeah.
Remember the K5 Blazer, the sound system in there. I had a remote. It was cool. I had a remote, right? So I could stand outside the car,
And hit the button.
hit turn up the volume, and you literally, the car was rattling apart, right?
Yeah.
But it would literally make your nose start running. It would make you sneeze.
Because you got that reverberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My exhaust ended at my feet. Now that was loud. Pissed people off. I'm not much better now. I drive an 88 big block dually with Flowmasters and expansion chambers. At least it's all the way out the back. So I like the K5 Blazers and the Yukons, and then I run a 2-chamber Flowmaster, just like you do. I'm guessing you probably run a 1-chamber.
I think that's the Ken Schmidt. He just texted me. He just messaged me. He's a good dude.
We have a couple of them. What did he text you for?
He's like, you left wrenching? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know, I wanted to say he was like, he tried to get away. It's not as easy for him to get away. I think he owns his own place.
Got it. Do you know that dude hit me up on Instagram? It's he was on Doomsday Preppers. He had hit me up like fucking 50 times, but it was going to the other folder.
Doomsday Preppers.
Yeah, the TV show Doomsday Preppers. So he makes these big, huge. You would like it. He's got.
I know the guy. You're about to say he makes these big, huge trucks?
In Arizona.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, he was fucking hounding us about a fucking axe to go on his truck. I'm pretty sure I know the guy.
Okay, so he's got some new build. Dude, the dude like some legit shit. Like he has some crazy fucking out there, like an excursion with a big platform. Like cool, like awesome for coyote hunting and shit. Like I would totally drive that. It probably gets 6 miles a gallon. And then he's got a big, I don't know what the fuck it is. The LMTV maybe?
The truck that he used for the show was fucking off the charts.
But
and
he's
he was
got...
like, give me one of your axes and we'll put it on a ball. And we gave him I gave him an axe, and I don't know if it was ever on the fucking show.
I don't know, man. He just sent me like fucking 20 photos. He's got a channel. Like he has a legit fucking fat
But he
shop.
would hit me up all the time, be like
we should take something out there and ninja it up on video or something.
That old
Suburban
big boy outside, yeah.
The Suburban square body. Turn rotors. That's a blast from the past. When I first started, we always turned them. I remember getting rotors and drums from Junkyard and then turning them. I don't think I own a vehicle that you can turn the rotors on now. Well, the Suburban, you can still turn the rotors on. You just they don't turn rotors anymore because they're ceramic and shit now. Can you turn my Porsche rotors?
I think so.
Can you turn the Rover rotors? Seems like every time that it's cheaper, just it's easier
nowadays
to put new ones on.
I want to say the Toyota might have drums in the rear.
What? The brand new fucking Tacoma has drums? Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet. We'll go out and figure it out.
Okay. Take those off. Fucking order some
disc?
$6,000 discs for
I'm
it.
sure somebody makes a conversion.
I probably did. I I probably did look like some crazy person in the booth. Laugh out loud. Damn scavenger. Hey, I found my cash print Cox and Skully. I know you aren't like celebrities, but you guys are my famous people. And I know poor Freedom was hoping I didn't break him too bad, but I didn't. Just a couple hundred and he got his multicam sling. But I was cracking up hearing you tell the story. I can't wait till the next time because I will be back. I'll be back.
It was like fucking Bartertown and shit. You running around in there.
So she sent. I think I got an email the other night. Of course, when she likes to type a lot. She's a good typer. It's like 8 paragraphs. She thinks she saw some material that shouldn't be in the building, and she's like, I need 2 wallets made out of that for the kids. Those kids are the fucking only people in the world I would cut 2 goddamn wallets out for.
What was the material?
Something we don't have.
Is it something we've had?
And we don't have it now? If I even say it, I'll get 50 emails from other people. So she's like, I was just going to show up there, but now that you're having a party, I'm going to come out for the party. I was just going to show up and be like, I'm here to work. Put me to work. Like, we can't just put a motherfucker to work.
Mm-mm.
Like, explain what happens when we just put someone to work.
Everything slows down. Everything stops.
Because we have to watch them.
Yeah.
It's not coming here to work is not like a fun thing.
So I was at fault. I've sent messages. Hey, I'll be in town. Can I come help? And it's like, you're just gonna get in the way. You're just gonna get in the way. You're just gonna get in the way. And it's like,
how can this be possible?
Yeah. Now I'm like, what do you mean? Like, just give me fucking scissors and I'll just cut shit. Well, no. So
you got to cut something the other day.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, my brain, like, always wants to, like, there's got to be an easier way to do it. So I was, like, searching for it. And the only way I found that possibly could make it easier was if the...
table spins.
No. If the... not the mold. The pattern had, like... Because so it's 10 wide. Like, a sheet is 10 wide. So if the pattern had like 4 or 5 cut into it with all the, because there's the one pattern that's got all the notches for the lines. I would assume not.
It's not
no.
faster.
I got you.
You can't manipulate that big pattern. You can't reach across that big pattern.
Right.
Plus, let's say we're cutting a rectangle, right? Once you line it up, put the rectangle in the corner.
Just for the Cox.
When you slide it over, boom.
Yeah.
It's not faster.
No, I at first I was like, yeah, but then
if there was a faster way after 30 years, we'd be fucking doing it.
That's why I never said anything. Yeah. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I get it. Like, you gotta. It's very easily, like, once you start going, like, I figured out, like, after the second or third row how to
work the scissors,
how to get it to glide, but like that can easily.
Yeah, you can easily go. Oh,
yeah, oh shit!
You
yeah.
can also easily fucking go right into your other finger.
Yeah.
So, Brian Smith, John, in response to moving a few more states over from New Mexico, I live in the mountains, and we get a lot of rain. Not as much as Tennessee, but the Mexican food more than makes up for it. If you're in New Mexico, the food will ruin all other Mexican food for you. Guaranteed to be best you'll ever... no fucking way is that possible. We lived on the border of Tijuana, where there's real live Mexicans.
Real live Mexicans.
And a bunch of donkeys painted like zebras.
Yeah, and zebras.
Good place to buy real fireworks. I bet you do have some good fireworks. But then again, we got...
Tijuana?
There's like 9...
Did you have fireworks when you were growing up?
There's like 9 fireworks stands within a...
On the way to work.
Yeah, on a
I've got
Rockstar.
a fireworks story in Lebanon, but finish.
Good place to buy real fireworks year-round too. Thanks for the podcast and more stories from Skully, please. Go ahead.
So my grandfather, before he passed, like, I had very little interaction with my grandfather because we were overseas a lot. So the second to last time I was there while he was still alive, he's like, hey, you want to go get fireworks? And I was like, fuck yeah. And he's like, all right, go get like $5 from your mom or your dad. Which I was like, I need $5. And my dad's like, for what? And I was like, I don't know. Grandpa said get $5. So we buy.
That's awesome. Grandpa says.
Grandpa says, right? What are they going to argue? You can't argue. Like grocery bags, like 2 full, like tied tight, but like full. And I was like, I don't even know what this is, right? I couldn't have been more than 10, 11 years old. So he's like, all right, start. So we're letting off bottle rockets, and we're getting braver and firecrackers, and I'm putting them in my hand. As long as you don't close your hand, it won't hurt you. We're doing all types of shit. So I take his bag back to my grandpa's house, and he's like, my uncle, who, God bless him, isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, goes, come on, your uncle, you've been playing with your grandfather all day. Come on, let's do it. And it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It's fucking dark outside. So he grabs, it's like a stick, man. Like, it couldn't have been like this, the size of like a...
M1000.
Size of like a fucking permanent marker, you know what I mean? Like a whiteboard marker. It was about that long. So the balcony is between two, like, 4 or 5 story houses. And the balcony's on the first floor. So he's just fucking... And he's like, he lights it and goes, like, I mean, it's right from me to you. And it's one of those ones that just go boom. You know, boom! And it's like it's like a corridor of the street, right? This big red fireball comes up. Boom! Count to 10. Look at every single window goes. It was like a Western movie. Every single fucking window goes swinging open, and fucking AKs start poking out the window. I swear to God, dude. Like, we thought my uncle was like, oh fuck, like we thought we were gonna fucking, like, World War III was about to break out down the street, right? So my grandfather comes outside. You fucking retard, you fucking idiot, go inside. I'll take you to the bridge. We'll do the rest of the fireworks at the bridge. So we go to the bridge. I've got a bunch of bottle rockets. So what's the logical thing to do on the bridge? Let me explain what the bridge is. The bridge is an overpass over the freeway.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what's the logical thing to do? Let's see if I can hit the cars. So the cars are coming this way, and I'm lighting bottle rockets, and cars are... My grandfather had walked half a block down because there was a shop that was had closed for the day, and they were sitting outside drinking coffee, smoking hookah. So my grandfather walked through. What's the kid gonna do with a bunch of bottle rockets? Till we start hearing... My grandfather comes up, grabs me by the back of the neck, says, we're fucking done with fireworks. Let's go back inside. Yeah.
And to this day, Pierre has not seen any fireworks.
Yeah. Needless to say,
oh, shit, that's funny.
Yeah.
In regards to episode 101 and pre-workout, I was driving home from Idaho to Washington after a hunting trip. Woke up, dark 30 to leave. And I was beat, decided to take some pre-workout. Mistakes were made. About 20 minutes into the drive, I was like a dope fiend bouncing around with my heart felt like it was leaving my chest. Literally had to pull over and do some push-ups and jumping jacks to settle down. Never again. Keep up the killer work. You took the wrong pre-workout.
Yeah,
like,
what was that?
That or you just need to use a lot more of it and become immune to it. What type of Bluetooth headphones do you use? Beats 3s. I don't know. I've got
Power Beats, I think they're called.
Yeah, they're awesome. They've got some new ones out that are not corded, so they're individual like ear pods. I can't use those because we're always talking to each other in the shop. I need to be able to just pull one off and have the other one hang or throw them around my neck. I can't have two separate fucking things because I'll lose one of them. I have to have that cord.
Battery's way better.
Yeah, it runs like fucking 16 hours. I don't know what they claim, 12, whatever.
Yeah.
I just put them on a charger whenever I take them off. I've always got one pair on my head and then one pair on a charger. They work awesome. I've bought a lot of earphones. I've used Skull Candies, all their expensive ones. I've used Bose. I've used a ton of shit. The best ones I've ever fucking found, until you go over $1,000 pair of ear pods. Tour Ear makes like a $1,200, and then they make like $3,000 and $6,000 in-ear Tour Ears. Till you go up to something over $1,000, you can't beat those Dre Beats. The bass is amazing in them. I'm sure they hold up to heavy abuse. Do you wear them when you're out working with the animal? Yeah, I use them out in the rain. I use them on the razor. I use them outside. I've got them at the gym. Like, I fucking have them on when I'm mowing. I come in, they're super dirty. I just kind of rinse them off. If you're gonna buy some, go on Amazon from the link in our on our what the fuck's it called? Website. Go to our website. There's a link to Amazon. Click it. It'll take you to Amazon. Anything you buy, we get a little percentage of. So check them out on Amazon first. If you can't find them on Amazon, I know for a fact Best Buy has them. They're just more expensive on Best Buy.
Trying half a scoop of EWP and 2 scoops of aminos. Initial thoughts: the iced tea flavor is gross. Luckily, it's only a couple sips. BCAAs taste really good. I think I'm already itching. I'm sensitive to beta-adenine. I'm determined. LOL.
What is that?
Jess just sent me this, and then one more response.
Okay, hold on. Start over.
Trying a half a scoop of EWP and 2 scoops of aminos.
Okay, she take 1 scoop of amino.
Okay.
And what EWP is she using?
the black one.
How much did she take?
One. Half a scoop.
That's still pretty harsh, man. If she's not used to harsh stimulants, tell her to start with the white label.
Okay. I think I'm already itching. I'm sensitive to beta alanine. I've determined LOL.
Oh, well, fuck,
and then a whole nother message makes my whole face and ears itch.
Dude, I have raw beta alanine that I've been using.
Yeah.
It pumps up, right?
Yeah,
But like I looked at Amanda, I go, "You're fucking all sunburned." She goes, "It's
that was yesterday or last week."
Yeah. She goes, "It's beta alanine." I go, "You don't like beta alanine. What the fuck were you thinking?" So then I'm like, "Give me that. I'll use it."
Yeah.
So I tasted it. What the fuck? Like, it is
shit.
terrible. Holy shit. It's like a chemical version of dehydrated lime. Like lime, the fruit, yeah. But, like, amplified by 1,000. It's fucking horrible. Like, who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to buy unflavored of anything? It's literally just the chemical she bought, it seems. Did you not get some white label? You only bought black label?
I told her, and I was like, I do a scoop of Onward every morning.
Onward is like the most mellow.
When I get into the shop, and by the time we get to the gym, I'm awake. I feel good. Like it's good for me. And she's like, oh no, she's like, I'm drinking coffee all the time and blah 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 blah.
Like, bitch, please.
Yeah, so I was like,
exactly
they've got like this black label supposed to be badass or what? And she's like, yeah, just give me that. And I was like, are you? I'll get you both. And she was like, no, just give me that. So, okay. So half a scoop in, she's fucking, her face is itching.
It makes everything.
She might have also. She didn't say it, and I'm gonna ask her later. But she might have
took it with Vaso, or
I told her. She was like, I said, this is a pre-workout, but there's no stimulant. It's basically a Vaso. So you put this with the other stuff, and it'll absorb faster, and then you get more of a pump.
Yeah, it will.
So I think that's probably what she did.
Skully, have you heard about the amendment added to a bill by a California senator that forbid the Marine Corps from segregating boot camp by gender?
All services segregate their boot camp, but the Marine Corps is the only one that does not segregate their boot camp. All the women are trained at Camp Lejeune.
Not to mention.
So if you went to Camp Lejeune,
you
were at the
state of California can't fucking supersede anything the fucking Marine Corps does on a military.
Yeah, it's probably just a bill that they're trying to push through. I mean, it is the agenda.
And there's probably a bunch of people yelling about it, and it doesn't fucking matter.
It is the agenda to try and make all that stuff co-ed. It's a dumb idea. If we're going to follow any model, we should follow the Israeli model, and that is train the women to be the instructors, and you'll get better performance out of the men if they are being trained by the females. Just a fact.
So when they issue a gun for an Israeli soldier, they have to live with that gun for...
Yeah, a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, like, I saw a picture a couple days ago. This chick was, like,
with her
really good looking.
Yeah, in her sundress.
Right. In a sundress.
Yeah.
There's a whole
dude is like...
Yeah, dude, you saw that picture. Yeah. But the shitty thing is, like, someone needs to teach her how to adjust that fucking goddamn sling. Because it was, like, dragging.
That's just the way they do it.
I know. But still.
Everybody was blowing that picture up about, well, her rifle's not, she doesn't have a magazine in her gun.
There's a mag on the stock, but it's empty.
They always have
a
mag forward.
That bitch has probably fired more rounds than any other dude.
It's just like, whatever, at least she's doing what she's told.
And she's been in more combat than any of them dudes on the internet. What type of Bluetooth headphones?
Did that one.
Skully, have you heard, here we go. Skully, have you ever gotten Grand Thumb?
Never. I've never gotten Grand Thumb.
Do you have a Grand?
Yeah, I have a couple.
30-6?
Yes.
John, have you ever made a designated micro hunting rig with your X harness in Blaze Orange? You don't need the fucking X harness. Dudes order the X harness. We will sell you the X harness. When you get it and don't like it, no, we will not fucking take it back. You own that motherfucker. If we wanted the micro rig to come with an X harness or thought it needed it, we would have put it with it. We put the H harness out. Guys get those X harnesses because they think they're fast to put on. The H harness is actually faster to put on. You cannot carry enough weight in that micro rig to justify the X harness. It's actually in the way. It's so wide and big, it does not work with those micro rigs. It rubs dudes on the neck, and then they complain about it. That's why it comes with the H harness. If you look at any of our rigs, they all come with the H harness. The only rig that came with the X harness was the Mookie War Rig, the real Mookie War Rig, of which there's only a few dozen of those out there. And that's because we were figuring that shit out. That shit, like, we replaced that rig with the NSW rig, which comes with the H-harness, carries more shit in a smaller platform, smaller footprint, and does everything that rig did, just better. Like, I didn't know when I was building it. Like, it wasn't... You doing the internal mags took care of a lot of the issues that caused problems with the original rig. And then you can still put more mags on it because it has pals all over the face of it. And then having those stacked pockets for dual radios, embitters, or pull-out med trays, or a pistol and a med tray, you can put mags in there and then still put more fucking mags on the outside. Like, the footprint is smaller. Like, Mookie had to wear armor to be able to put the Mookie War Rig on. It was so big. Like, when we first built it, like, he told me what he wanted and I sketched it out. When I put it on, that motherfucker clipped, like, in the back. Like, literally touched all the way around on me and Ben. So...
I don't think I've ever seen one.
You probably have. You just don't realize it, yeah. But yes, we can build that rig in orange. We can also build it in Highlander or something and then put enough orange on to meet your designation for your state, whatever that might be. Or we can build the whole rig in orange, and we will be happy to make you a nice H set, which you will be much happier with. Mm-hmm. If you want to spend $150 to get the X harness, we'll build it for you. But I'm telling you, man, do the H harness first. You'll be happy.
The dude that sells it, the dude that owns the company, the dude that designed it, that's his input. Exact same thing. I had an H set, and it was fucking like it took. And I recommend getting the hydro. Not to run hydro. I mean, you can throw a couple mags, just get some more weight back there.
Ballast.
It balances it out, and man, it's super comfortable.
Awesome podcast, guys. Keep it up. Love the coverage of Blade Show. Did you guys sell out of what you took? We sold out of what we knew we had there.
Yeah, we did.
We come in with so much shit at Blade Show. Like, you cannot wedge anything under the tables because we move them with all these, like, containers, right? In all these big bins. Those bins go under there. So we actually had a big super kit bag full of Strider logo shit that we didn't know we had. We just couldn't display it all. We could have sold every bit of that.
Yeah,
we sold out of most of that shit the first day. If you guys could fuck with an individual or event in history, what would it be?
What do you mean by fuck with?
Who would you want
like
to talk to?
Like tickle their butthole, fuck with, or
fuck with him, or I fuck with Skully, like
yeah, that's
fuck
what
with
I'm
the
saying.
definition of fuck with.
Enough, come on. What's the real answer? You always want to turn it gay. What's the real answer? Who would you be?
Who would I want
not be, but who would you want to like roll with, hang out with, get to interview?
I mean, if I could go back and like sit with somebody doing some shit, I would really like to go. I think Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
Because it's one of the worst times in American history as far as keeping the country together. So it's one of the worst times in American history, and he surrounded people in his cabinet that did not like him. So he brought people to the table that were from the, it's like having a bunch of lefties at the table with me. He brought those people to the table so he could get their opinions on what should really be done. Yeah, experts in his field. And if Daniel Day-Lewis is right, the dude was fucking really smart. So
I've heard mixed things about Lincoln. I've heard
that's why I would like to go.
Propaganda, though. I think it's after the fact,
Yeah, that's why I would like to go back and just because really, that was the worst time in American history.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis.
He played Abraham Lincoln.
Super
no, he's Bill.
Kid.
He's Bloody Bill.
Who?
Bloody Bill from Gangs of New York.
Never seen it.
You have not seen Gangs of New York?
What was the one we did with the oil?
Holy shit!
The oil tycoon?
I think you've seen that one too.
Drained all the oil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like chew on the steak and then spits it back
use my
out.
straw.
Yeah.
That was.
He's like a super crazy method actor.
Oh man, he's fucking brilliant.
I thought it was the little black dude that played. What am I thinking of?
A little black dude, apparently.
I don't know.
TV show.
The midget? The little person?
No, not Gary Coleman. Everybody knows him.
Who would you want to go hang with?
I'd want to see
Tupac?
No,
You'd want to be in the back seat with Tupac when the shit went down?
I know as soon as I say one, I'm going to fucking... As soon as we turn this off, I'm going to be like, oh no, I got a way better... I'd want to see all the Nazi shit. But not over... Like, I just want to be able to bounce around and see, like, what they really were doing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
I'd want to see the asylums. Like, I don't know. Not there, I mean, our asylums. Right. Or fucking anywhere. Poking them with sticks and shit, you know? I'd like to go to, like, the real circus. See the real circus. Sideshow shit. See what was really going on, you know? If you guys could fuck with John Skully and Pierre, what is your dream car? What was yours? You didn't answer.
It's hard not to say, like, Jesus or Napoleon or...
Napoleon would be good when he was
Napoleon
raiding Egypt and shit. I'd like to see that.
Genghis Khan, but, like, those are just...
That's a good one, too. They'd have killed you, though.
Yeah, probably.
That's the worry, though. Like, do we get to be friends with them? Do we get to? Do they not know we're there?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Anonymity? Do you just like?
Are they gonna eat us? What's your dream car?
M1 Abram.
What's yours?
Man, I really want a 430 Scuderia.
Man, you'd fucking hate it once you drive it.
I'm sure I would. That's like. Maybe I'll just never buy one, even if I hit a lick.
That's like wanting a Porsche, so you buy a Volkswagen. Like I'm telling you, I've driven.
I know.
When you go to a 458,
I know.
Like that thing. It's like the 430. People want the 430 because you can afford it, right? You could probably.
Well, they're 270, 280 now. They've just skyrocketed.
They still make them?
No.
Right, so they're not. So 430. You can go buy a 430. I'm telling you. I fucking looked at 40 of them. You can go buy a 430. You can buy a nice one for 120. You can actually walk into one for 90-ish, right?
Okay.
Carbon fiber, everything inside.
Yeah.
You know, the whole deal. But when you drive it, it's like it has a 10-bolt Chevy rear end and leaf springs in the back. Like when you fucking decelerate, it's like fucking stuttering, right? It'll actually axle wrap almost like a fucking truck. When you go to the 458, that motherfucker does everything 100 times better. It also costs, you know,
way more.
Yeah, you can get into one of those now for under $2. A 458.
There's a lot of supercars out there. There's a lot of hypercars out there. The hypercars I see them like
you can't even fucking.
They don't do anything for me. Like Paganis that are fucking $3 million designed by Hermes.
And your awesome, and your upkeep is fucking $250,000 a year, even if you don't drive it.
Paganis have kill switches in them because they can't figure out how to get the battery draws not to happen. So if you're not gonna drive it every other day, there's a kill switch, so it doesn't draw itself dead. Like there's just those cars don't do much for me. I'd buy a Huracan. I'd buy a Huracan for the sole purpose that I've seen one just get like dude bought it 1,000 miles into it, put a supercharger on it, beat the fuck out of it for 40,000 miles, removed the supercharger, twin turboed it, and is still beating the ever living shit out of it. And it's like, okay. And it's like 1,200. The guy that did the turbo kit for him was like, we can go up to 1,300 horsepower without really fucking with shit.
You know who Gutter Snake is?
Yeah.
When you're gonna buy a car like that, you go fucking talk.
Yeah. He seems real. I've messaged him a few times. We've interacted on Instagram a few times. Like,
there's a dude that buys supercars, right?
Yeah.
He buys the cheapest supercars he can find.
Oh, yeah.
And takes them over to like Gutter Snake, and Gutter Snake's like dude, if you have no interest in these cars, it's worth watching the videos on YouTube because this dude is funny as fuck.
He did a huge prank April 1st. Was like, I'm starting my own YouTube channel, and everybody was like over the moon because this guy's got a lot of really good knowledge and he's really fucking funny. So he like starts off, he's like, all right, here we go. Like this is episode 1 of like the AGX / Gutter Snake fucking chat, and then cuts right into the Rick Roll fucking music video. It fucking burned the internet down, but he's a wealth of knowledge.
And yeah, he's very entertaining.
Yeah.
And like he knows the 3 solenoid parts for that year fucking Lambo, and like that's the dude.
Yeah.
Skully, James Yeager, many years ago did a video called "Don't Become a Cop." In the video, he said, if you want to learn about what it's like to be a cop, watch these 3 movies. Super Troopers for the antics, End of Watch for commentary in the car, and LA Confidential for backstabbing in politics and police work. Are there any military movies like that for those that want to join the military?
Biloxi Blues.
U.S. Navy SEALs.
Biloxi Blues. Watch Biloxi Blues. That's about it. I mean, most of your military movies are commentaries on war, and most of them are pretty wrong about it. I don't know.
What's the biggest mistake they make?
Well, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake in the sense of you have to make a movie entertaining.
Right.
So they want to cram in.
They want to show you.
They want to show you all the 1% for what is really a 90% thing. I think the closest one was, God, what's that fucking movie with the snipers for Desert Storm?
That's fucking horrible. Oh my god.
What movie is that?
With Tatum Channing or whatever?
No. It's an older movie. It's
We're here in the suck. They kept saying that.
Yeah.
That movie was fucking terrible.
What fucking movie was that? But that was probably kind of close to what it's really like.
Dude, that movie was fucking
horrible. A lot of boring, a lot of sitting around, a lot of I probably have more.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Probably have more pictures of me sleeping than doing anything else.
I know what you're talking about. Whether what's his name is in it? Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He goes back and forth and and then he finds a shot and then the guy brings down the lawn chair and he's like, all right, 86, my knee fucked up, so we're gonna carpet bomb the whole thing.
The only thing that was bullshit about that, like for that particular scene.
Yeah.
If two hogs were sitting there to shoot that guy, and somebody came in and said, "Hold that shot," they would have went, boom. What was that, sir? What did you say? They would have taken it. There's no fucking way. Even after the guy was like, "You better not take that shot." At that time period in the Marine Corps,
they would have taken it.
That time period in the Marine Corps, man, Scout Snipers would have been like, "What the fuck did you just say?" They were literally at that time, someone would have went.
What was that movie called?
So at that time period in the Marine Corps, there was been a Scout Sniper in there that would have been like, "Motherfucker, you ain't gonna make it out of here alive." That's how it was rough and tumble. I mean, I had a squad leader that, like, the first sergeant came out and was going at him, like going at him for some stupid bullshit, and he packed everywhere he went, and he's like, you see him
going for it,
just getting ready to go for, and Hayes is like, "Is he fucking packing?" I go, "He's always fucking packing." They had to run over and pull him away to keep him from fucking up the fucking first sergeant.
Jarhead.
Yeah, Jarhead. That's
terrible movie.
That's probably the closest to, like, the reality. You know, people talk about Full Metal Jacket. Like, I was going through boot camp at the time Full Metal Jacket came out, and they're like, my mom was like, "Is that what it was like?" I go, "Kind of, except we had 4 guys just like him." Oh shit. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really watch war movies anymore, so.
How would you choose a business to pursue? I'm a machinist 15 years. Problem I'm having is I don't have the space and I don't have the capital required to start a shop. I also do things like sharpen knives, drywall, fix plumbing for friends and family. What do you think I should set my sights on to get out of the rat race? What does out of the rat race mean? The problem is you have the capacity to make a fucking ton of money, which would allow you to do literally anything you want. If you can get a machine, even a fucking tabletop machine, how, like, man, I don't know who you are. I want to go, you're fucking retarded. What do you must not be a good machinist because you know the capacity. If you have a machine, you have a license to print money 24 hours a day. It's just who you're going to market that trinket to. We know a company that makes knives, and they run parts for Boeing 747s and Boeing all day long, and then they make knives in the evening. The problem with it is he has all of the machines, a lot, and we're talking a lot of fucking machines. He doesn't have the people to run the machines. But if you had a machine and you took expensive metals and made fucking beads out of just even an old lathe, man, that's all you can. To be able to sell somebody something that they don't need that makes them feel well. It's the same as jewelry. It's the same as beads. It's the same as it's like Blade Show. Everybody at Blade Show already has a knife, but there's dudes buying $5,000 knives every time you fucking inhale a breath. So if you can manufacture something like that, now maybe you want to move to the middle of nowhere and live a slower life and grow a garden. That's what I wanted. The problem with living in the middle of nowhere is that there is no one there to buy whatever service you're going to provide. Drywall? Who the fuck wants to do drywall? Everybody I know that did drywall for real got all the shit and started doing drywall and then hired dudes and crews to do drywall. They don't fucking do the drywall anymore. Then again, I don't know. You sharpening knives? There's no fucking money in sharpening knives. Everybody that, like, you're talking...
Wicked Edge makes it fucking stupid proof.
Yeah, buy a Wicked Edge and fucking sharpen knives, but dudes come here all the time. There's 10 dudes that want to sharpen my knives. I can send them back to the fucking company and have them sharpened with the right bevel. I'm not blasting you, Richard. I mean, I don't know who you are, but we're talking child's play. Like, what is it you... These things might make enough money a little bit through the week to pay your expenses or whatever. But you just told me, like, you're a brain surgeon and you want to go and, you know, cut grass with scissors. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know, dude. Let me stop. Let's forget all of that shit and go back to the one sentence. How would you choose a business to pursue? Find something you love fucking doing. When you're getting paid a lot of money to do something else, the thing you're thinking about, that was always me with sewing. We'd be fucking at Snow Summit or Big Bear skiing and I wanted to go home. I couldn't wait to get home and get some pussy or some different pussy than I was with and sew some shit and make some shit. We'd be out scuba diving and I'd want to fucking go make some shit. We were making camelback covers to put on the sides of the tank. We were making pouches, different weight belts and shit. Like, I always had something to make. We were out mountain biking and I was figuring out it always had something to do with sewing. That's always what I did. It's like building a motorcycle or building your car. You got this car and you can only afford to buy like one piece every week. And as soon as you get it, you go in there and you put that piece on there. That was always me with sewing. So I just figured out some shit to make that people wanted to buy. I mean, I always was into tactical gear and surplus gear and shit like that. So it transitioned well. And then having high-end clients like we had, it put us in a position to see even more shit that we didn't know existed. So it was always something with that. All my hobbies it was kind of the same shit those dudes were doing. So we were able to market something to them. But marketing to the SEALs, you know, there's only fucking 1,000 and we only have 50 of them available at any time that we can deal one-on-one with, a platoon, a sister platoon, and maybe a secondary platoon and sister platoon at any given time on the West Coast. So, you know, then we hook up and we're doing some cool shit with some recon guys and some snipers and stuff. But I mean, it's a small community. When I can take what those dudes do on the weekends, they're riding dirt bikes or they're mountain biking. If I can make some fucking cool bar to go on a seat post, under a seat, or on the handlebars of a mountain bike, I can sell it to those guys, but then I can sell it to 100 other thousand dudes in San Diego that have mountain bikes. So while I might be the specialist, the best at the top level for those dudes of the shit we're making, if I can take that and turn it into something that I can market to everybody at REI or every mountain bike shop in San Diego, or just handing out business cards at the trails while we're out doing the same shit, literally every single thing I did in my life for the last 30 years was able to, other than girls, I mean, was able to transition into business. And even that somehow sometimes was
worked out.
Banks are giving money away. And buildings are empty all over the place.
Yeah, like I was surprised how much Tad knew about that. Like even our filling up old building. There's a whole like if you look, there are programs that will give you buildings. Like they'll give them to you. You don't even have to make a fucking payment on them for 12 months. You might have to finagle. Like I don't get the I can't afford it stuff. I couldn't afford anything. We stole that shit. Like we went and fucking stole it. You couldn't buy the materials. They didn't exist. We were cutting buckles off of shopping carts at Target only because Walmart didn't fucking exist. We were cutting fucking pieces out of hot air balloons. We were cutting shit out of the sides of trucks on the fucking, at the National Guard armories. And it's like, I don't understand. I can't afford it. Like that. I don't get that mindset. If you're going to do anything, that can't be in your vocabulary. You got what?
No.
Why are you laughing? You got anything to add?
Nope.
Don't tell anybody you're doing it till the statute of limitations up. We're talking about shit that happened 30 years ago. Rob Peter to pay Paul, fucking, like, we did what we had to do. I don't understand the failure part. And I always thought, I don't know if I could do it again. But when I came home from prison, I had to do it again. And I did it way, way faster. So obviously it wasn't a one-time thing. I've duplicated it more than once. Like, it took a long time till we broke $1 million in sales, a long time. The first time. The next time we did it in fucking a year. I hadn't been out of prison and we did $1 million. Like problems, like tax problems kind of shit. Like, we made so much money. So, and on the heels of that, for every dollar you make when you start a business, put 33% of it away. 33 cents goes into a different account, and just pretend that shit ain't there. That'll cover any of your fucking future problems.
Yeah, take care of your taxes.
Because it's never going away. You
Uncle
can't.
Sugar, he will decide.
That and student loans. That's the one thing you can't fucking sign off.
Uncle Sugar gets his.
Yeah. You might bankrupt, but you can't fucking bankrupt that.
I got a great email. Congratulations, you are halfway through paying your student loans.
You have student loans?
Yeah.
How much were they total?
20-ish, I think.
That's not too bad.
What's the interest rate on that?
Oh, fucking nothing. 6.5.
That's
yeah,
why,
so why even be in a hurry to pay it?
I
only say that because so many people are like, I gotta hurry up and
Well,
we're gonna starve for 6 years while we fucking pay
they
these
should
loans.
because they have a $1,200 a month payment minimum. My minimum's $2 something. Like, I should be paying more just to get rid of it at this point. Like, I'd be paying it just to free up the money to do something else with the money. Well, like, I got a buddy of mine who graduated law school, full ride undergrad, full ride grad school, still graduated with $100,000 in debt, and he's like, we were talking about one time, and I was like, why are you buying this house for like this much money? He's like, well, I'm paying my first house off now. I've got another 15 years to pay off till the first house gets paid off. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he showed me. It's fucking $1,200-$1,300 a month. I'll go say him. Fannie Mae or wherever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's
You
all
took the
fucking-
money.
It's all entrances in a ledger.
Yeah.
As far as Richard, man, I don't know what the answer is. You didn't give us a lot to work with here, and I don't. If I had 4 dudes in front of me and they all asked me the question, I would give different people different questions just based on, how they carry themselves. I mean,
What you would do for free is you got to figure out what you would willing to do for free, how to monetize it, and you have a supercomputer in your pocket. Banks are throwing money away at everybody in every facet. Property's super cheap. Logistics has become super cheap. There's no reason why you can't open a machine shop in some fucking small town and just have trucks come in and out and ship the stuff out. Like, there's a million ways. The failure thing you didn't understand is the lack of not wanting something bad enough. Like, you've always wanted something bad enough, so you've like the burning of the boats. Your boats have always been on fire.
That is true.
Huh?
Mine?
Yeah.
John likes a good boat fire.
And I'm not trying to talk shit, but I'm just like, that's how you operate. Like, that's it. We're doing it, and then move on. We built a new boat. We took over this land. We built a new boat. We swam to a new place. Light that bitch on fire so we can keep going.
That's not how he operates. John, we have you build the boat. Well, I mean, he doesn't do it anymore, but the old days, it used to be, he'll build the boat, you'll get in the boat, you'll start paddling out into the ocean, and you'll be like,
boat's already on
that
fire.
Smoke? What is that?
Boat's
what
on
is
fire.
That? The back of the boat will be on fire. You better paddle faster, because we got to get to the island to make a new boat.
I don't get, like, failure's not an option. Like, it's not even in the plan. Like, you're not going to see me do anything where there's a fucking plan B, much less a plan C. Like, we're just going to fucking do it. And if something happens along the way, we're going to keep fucking doing it. Like, we are going to fucking power through it. You are not going to see us fucking fail at anything we do. And in the end, even if we failed, it's gonna be an even bigger win. You're not even going to know that we had to deviate course. We're going to be there on time, on target every fucking time, and we're never going to not fucking do that. I don't have any other maybe I'm not the advice guy for that, I guess. Skully, I thought about the story.
Uh-oh.
I'm all pumped up.
You did. You're getting excited.
I just don't... Why can't everybody just fucking do whatever it is they need to do?
It's like with me when I say, like, I don't understand how people can do... Because I'm Mr. Innocent, right? Like, I just don't understand how people can lie all the time. I don't understand how people can...
Oh, I wouldn't even bring lying
No, but my point is, like, how I can't comprehend why can't you just tell the truth? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Is how you can't comprehend, which you can, but you get what I'm saying. Like, why is there like a failure option? You know what I mean? Like that's the, for me, it just doesn't make sense, because that's how I've, call it sheltered, call it being on it, whatever you want to label it as. That's just the last 31 years of my life have been. The last X amount of years for you have just been, this is the only way to do it. And like for me, that's been the big learning curve here. Like the shipping's not hard, the cutting's not hard, all that stuff's not hard. It's the others. It's like all the talks that me and you have. Like failure's not an option. Where it's like I don't know how to process like that. I mean, we joke about like I'm the safety Sally, but it's like
you are the safety Sally,
which is fine. But I've had to. You know what I mean? Like my whole career, there's nothing really I can do here, for the most part, that's really gonna like possibly end multiple families' lives.
It's just because John's been nice.
But realistic, you know what I mean? Like if I leave a tire loose,
we can end some generations.
You know what I mean? If I leave a tire loose, God forbid, you know what I mean? And the car flips, and then that tire hits another fucking semi, and the semi jackknifes on the like, that's happened with other people. You know what I mean? Like we had a guy that left a fucking tire loose, and the car got with the fucking tire fell off. So I can see how other people's options are certain ways. Your upbringing, and I'm not just saying like being raised as a little kid, like your life experience leads you to no failure. Like you will never fail because failure is not an option. Because even in traditional belief of failure is no, we just learned how to do it better next time, or how to this option doesn't work.
Look at like I always go back to the rap music thing. Like they were fucking going to kill you to get what they fucking wanted. They were not going to fucking lose no matter what, or they were going to die fucking trying, right? Now all the rap music's about fucking not working. Lean. Everything's like take some shit, slow you down. All I ever wanted to do was fucking go faster and be able to sleep less. Luckily it never was drugs. That probably would have been like, if I'd ever fucking used drugs, that would have been the end of me probably in a fucking 12-month period, right?
You'd have made some money though.
No. I mean, I never used any. Had I started using drugs,
right,
that would have been different. Like there was no option not to fucking just do whatever it was we were doing, and that's always been it. Like,
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think? Did you have a lot of like freedom and like go do whatever the fuck you want?
All I wanted to do was fuck chicks and drive fast cars.
But I mean, like from
16
on, 17 on.
Yeah, I was fucking. My mom worked fucking 3 jobs to support my sister and I. I was supposed to be at school, and most of the time I was not at school.
Okay.
I did whatever I wanted to do. I dropped out of high school in the 10th grade. I was riding dirt bikes all the time and working on fucking. I was literally just doing whatever I wanted to do.
Most that have that story can't say that they're successful.
I wasn't. I was successful in manipulating girls to work extra jobs to buy me toys, and they always did. And at age 20-ish probably, this chick left me, and I'm like, okay, I'm never going to be in that situation again, because all of a sudden I lost fucking like 2 cars and all my shit. And that's kind of like, I was dabbling in gear, right? Like we were doing some t-shirts and flipping shit at the swap meets and gun shows and stuff, and the t-shirts, and started making some gear and stuff. But that's kind of like when it actually became something, you know?
Right.
Just out of like, boom, all of a sudden my fucking bank account's gone. The credit cards that were mine that aren't mine, you know? Yeah. Luckily they weren't in my name.
Right.
You know, that kind of shit. But that's kind of when it was. But I mean, it was just pure hustle. Like even then, I had a newspaper route, right? Making, $1,500 a month or whatever. And then I fucking stacked another one on it for another 1,000, and another one for 800. Before you know it, like I'm working 4 hours a night, getting like $3,500 a month just throwing newspapers. Like I always had the ability to make money. When I came home from prison, I literally thought I was going back into my business. I had $120,000 in accounts receivable. All you had to do was deliver the same bullshit to the same few fucking people. $120,000 a month, right? $120,000 a month in accounts receivable. That was gone. Like when I came home, I thought I was going to the halfway house and going to be able to go back to my shop. I got served with divorce papers and restraining order. I did not see that shit coming. Not ever in the fucking, never even entered the realm. Within 30 minutes, fucking switch gears. Okay, how do I get out of this halfway house now that I can't go there? What do? You have to find a job. I left and fucking went and looked for a fucking job. And the next day I had a fucking job. Now I'm out of the halfway house. Like, it never was it an option that I wasn't going to fucking do something. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if, like, starting the gear company again, starting SOE from zero, like, I didn't have that plan. It was just focused on fucking the next step. And the next step was get a job. And they gave me like 20 hours a week. Well, that's fucking only 20 hours a week I'm allowed out of the halfway house. How do I fucking get out more? Go search for another job. So I was out, and I met up with a fucking ex-girlfriend when that happened. Went to a hotel room. And then continued, like, every day I go out. I just had to get business cards. So I was going to bullshit places getting business cards to allow me to be out while I wasn't working. So then I got another job within a couple days at another pizza place, literally in the same plaza. And then I got a third fucking job by the end of the week. I'm 70 hours now at work. Luckily, my friend owned one of those places, so I was able to fucking sit in the restaurant, use the cell phone that this chick gave me, a cell phone, same fucking phone number I have right now. So, when I came home, I had a pair of tennis shoes, gray. They started as gray tennis shoes. They were super dirty. I was walking or running 8 miles a day on the track. There's a half-mile jogging track in Lompoc. My toe, there was a hole in them. I owned a pair of sweatpants when I left prison. My wife never sent they make you send all your shit home. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a social security card. I didn't have shit. She didn't send nothing to me for release. So I walked out, no cash, nothing. My mom came to fucking pick me up with this chick named Autumn. And Autumn gave me a phone, a couple pairs of pants, one pair of pants, and a couple shirts that her and my mother got. That's what I owned. They dropped me off at the halfway house. We went to her house. I fucked Autumn at her house on the way home. That was the first, I was in the front seat of my mom's Blazer. I guess it was a Blazer. Old fucking S10 Blazer. And I'm texting Autumn. And when I went to prison, there was no texting. And I'm getting fucking car sick. And I'm texting and I'm like trying to figure out it was a flip phone, right? So I'm texting her. I'm like, yeah, I want the pussy. Like, I can't have this conversation if my mom's in the car. So we stop at Autumn's. I'm at Autumn's house for like 15 minutes. My mom waits in the car. I get back in the car with Mom. Mom takes me to halfway house. I wasn't at halfway house fucking 30 minutes, and I got fucking served with divorce papers and restraining order. I thought I was going back to I knew shit was fucked up with the wife. I knew shit was fucked up. But the business, right? I'm good. At least I got the business, my kids and shit. Fucking none of that, man. That all fucking went away. Like, with a snap of a finger. Never walked back in the shop. Never got any of my shit. Had to go to court. Fucking took some pre-orders. Got some money for an attorney to go to court. To make my wife give me one of my 3 fucking cars. And I got the Yukon back that Cody has now. And I got a little bit of shit. Like half of the fucking Yukon full of stuff, right? I got some old ass clothes that were fucking wore out and just been sitting in the garage and shit, But that wasn't till 6 months after I was home, probably. So,
shop already closed? Like, was the shop already closed down?
No,
but the shop was still there.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
How long until the shop closed down?
The shop never closed down. They moved the shop.
Yeah, meaning the Oceanside, how long was the...
I was there for 2 years, probably, after I was home. I drove past it once, but I never did go there. Yeah, so, I don't get don't want to do shit. People that say that, it's because they've never had... No, it's because they've never fucking had nothing. Yeah. They've never had everything and lost everything. They don't understand that. So that's why I say, you could fucking set us over you could restart at zero. Put me in a fucking Central Park fucking naked. By the end of the day, I'll have $100 and some fucking clothes. And by the end of the week, I'll have a fucking car and I'll have a fucking house. By the end of the year, I'll make $1 million.
It's a skill.
It's not a skill. It's just the fucking, failure's not an option. That's all it is. It's not a skill. It's not luck. It's not a fucking skill. It's just fucking, I'm not going to fucking stop. That's all it is. I'll walk while I'm sleeping.
Do you think you can have that without losing everything?
Yeah, I think you can have that without losing everything. I know that's why you think you don't have everything, because you've never lost everything.
Because even now I'm thinking at my worst.
I know that
still had electricity.
You use that as an excuse.
What do you mean?
You're
not losing.
Yeah, you're not. You have not performed at a high level because you haven't been through any turmoil. I know that's what's in your head.
Just another reason to get him arrested.
I like for real, man. Like you can tell, like being around him. Like most of the dudes I've been around are like military dudes or cops or just like being around Pierre. Pierre's younger than we are. Not. I guess he is though. He's 20 years younger. So I've had like my kids. I've never been around somebody his age at 30, right? Not for any length of time. But he just does. He like doesn't know things. I'm like, how does this motherfucker not know this? If you'd have spent 6 months in fucking county jail, you'd be more on our level, or in the military, or even like Boy Scouts probably, right? Like being out and fucking camping and shit, you know? Not, I don't mean like on our level. I don't mean that in a negative way. There's just things that you don't know because you haven't had the necessity to know it. Like most people, when the power goes out, what do we do? I mean, what do we do? We're going to keep doing what the fuck we're doing. Like, you're going to go find some fucking lights and you're going to fucking turn them on and we're going to keep fucking doing. When the power went out here this weekend,
I was joking.
When the power went out here this weekend, Amanda was cutting shit. When I walked back in the building, I go, what are you doing? She goes, what am I going to do? The power's out. I'm going to keep cutting this shit. Like she cut a stack of shit that they sewed today while the power was fucking out. She'd have cut it if the power was on. She goes, what are we going to do? It's fucking hot outside. It's cooler in here. The building's still cold. I'm going to fucking cut this stuff. Like, it's not an option not to. It never crossed her mind. Hey, get in the car and we'll go find somewhere where the power's on and we'll go eat. You know, that never was a thought. Failure's not an option. Like, it's not even in the fucking mind. Like, ever. If fucking you want to do something, just go fucking do it. When I took the shop, when Dwayne talked me into taking the shop, it's a great deal. We'll split it. No, what that means is I'll pay 10%, you spend 90%. I'll have a bunch of drunk dudes in the building. They're going to shoot through the walls and tear the fucking drywall apart. And then you get to pay all the bills. Oh, by the way, put the phone in your name and the gas and electric and the fucking trash pickup. That'll be in your name too. Oh, yeah, I only need this little closet back here, so you get to pay 90%. That's not quite how it went, but that's pretty much how it went, right?
That's how it was.
I had a K5 Blazer. A girl bought me. We were investing, you know, we were doing prep shit back then, right? She was working for a bank. Her name was, I don't remember her name. I do, but it doesn't matter. So we took a bunch of money and put it in Krugerrands. We bought, Pandas and shit. So I find this Blazer. Like, we need this off-road truck for the end of the world or whatever. So we find this dude, this Arab dude. He's in Pacific Beach. And we go, and I'm like, will you take gold and silver? He's like, yes, my friend, I will take gold and silver. So we roll up there, and I buy this 81 Chevy K5 Blazer, and it's on 36s. I just wanted a truck that was tall. It barely got home, and something was grounding out, and it would stop every 5-10 miles, and we'd have to, like, wait, and then it would start back. So I get this thing home, right? Anyways, that's the truck I owned, right? And I drove that motherfucker with 3 fucking unbalanced, wobbling wheels. You could drive it about 50, but when you got about 60, it was going to try to kill you. It was going to change lanes and shit. I drove that up to Oceanside and stayed in Oceanside for probably 2 weeks because I didn't have gas money to get it home. Like, it barely got there. I slept on the floor. I ate MREs. I traded Marines' fucking gear that we made for MREs when they were coming back from the field. They were going to throw them away. And that's what I did. And I did that for a year. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't complain about it. I was fucking comfortable. I wasn't ever hot. I wasn't ever cold. I wasn't ever hungry. That's just what we did, man. I was doing what I wanted to fucking do. And that was my building. I had a shop, like fucking, I didn't know anybody else owned a fucking shop. I didn't know anybody else that was a business owner. I never went and took business classes. I never went to a sewing factory. Like, we just fucking got a sewing machine and broke it and got it fixed and kept building shit and got 2 sewing machines, and that turned into fucking 30 sewing machines. And we just kept doing it. People kept coming and buying. The only mistake I made is I didn't charge enough for it. We were the only people doing what we were doing, and they would have paid fucking anything we fucking charged. So, and I didn't learn that until Pomona Gun Show, probably, when the big Pomona Gun Shows were going. When we started going to the gun show, I made a couple backpacks, and dudes wanted these backpacks, and every time they'd want to buy one of them or have us build one, I'd tell them, like, $300. And they just pull the money out. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to build this backpack. Then I'm like, $500. And they just pull the money out. Finally, I'm like, I'm not building fucking backpacks. Like, we just stopped taking them and showing them as cool as they were. First one I built was just a little, like, what you call a 3-day bag now. Had a pocket on the front that would hold an M17 gas mask. Had 2 M4 mag pouches on the front of it. And then had, like, some utility pockets on the side. That was the first backpack. Nothing special. But the guys wanted them, man. We were charging $500 for a ruck modification. You'd bring us a brand new ruck and give us $500 and we'd add these pockets onto it. We couldn't build enough of them. Like, we literally could have done nothing but ruck mods and ghillie suits back then and not built anything else. The biggest mistake I made is I didn't charge enough for my time.
I carried that motherfucker for 16 years.
The ruck modification, man.
16 years.
We added 9 pockets that added 2,600 inches to a large mountain ruck.
It was fucking stupid.
We had a mesh pocket on the bottom so you could put your wet gear in there and it would fucking drain. You could put a mop suit in there. You could put the 2 parts of the MPPS, the sleep system in there.
System in it. That was the best part.
Still got it?
Yeah, of course I did. Fuck, man. It's dumb. It's just dumb. It's dumb in the sense of... Okay, so you start off with a large ruck. It's already the biggest... At the time, you're talking about already the biggest pack that the military had. It was called the Mountain Ruck. So it's already the biggest one that was available. And then John tripled the size of that fucking thing by adding the pockets.
We had to remove it. We take the lid and put a zipper and then put a pack on top of the lid that could be used. And
which is great because you in your head you're like, oh man, I can put this in, I can put my sleeping bag in there. Because basically when they tell you this is what you're going to take and you go to pack it, there's never enough room. So you would go and you would put all this stuff in there and then you'd be like, this fucking pocket is completely empty. Oh, you know what? I'll just bring some more. I mean, that thing would be...
the pockets on the
make
side.
That fucking thing
so
so
it has
heavy.
3 little like mag pouches. We put a zipper. We put a pocket around that, and then we put 2 pockets to the side of that that'll hold 2-quart canteens. On the front of that, we could put smokes or 40 mic grenades. On the side, we put an 8x16 pocket and 2 8x8s. But then we took those and put them on panels sewn on the side. So you could put skis, tent poles, antennas, or a sniper rifle down there. So you could put your M4 down there and then hold your bolt gun, or you could put your bolt gun in there and hold your sniper rifle. And then we had a piece that came down the bottom that would fucking tension up, that would hold the barrel and shit at different levels. Like, we could not build a fuck enough of those things. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I am tired of getting fucking sand in my sewing machine. I'm tired of getting poison oak. I'm tired of getting fucking CS gas. So we're like, fuck it. We're not building any used pockets. No used bags. You got to go down to G.I. Joe Surplus down the road and buy a $120 new one. And then bring it to us with $500 and then we'll build your shit. Dude, we couldn't build enough of them. Failure never was... There never was a what if. There never was a question. Like, when we moved in there, we couldn't pay rent. I'm like, well, we got 30 days till they kick us out of here. There never was a what if. There's
been a few times where it's like, I get the phone call. This is a long time ago, right? Like,
that's when I work the best. When I get the phone call.
You know the phone call, so I'm not even going to say the phone call.
Yeah,
like,
all of a sudden you're not going out tonight. You're going to fucking... No, what is your phone call?
Oh, the phone call is like, I'm doing the bills. We're short. And I'll be
I don't ever get that phone call. I get...
Okay, so...
And then I get, when I don't answer the door, when I finally do come out a few hours later, there's a card for the sheriff's department.
So it's like... And for a while, I just said...
With an eviction notice.
I'd be like, don't worry about it. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, it'll show up. Don't worry, it'll show up. And it always showed. And that's like the first couple...
Ask Amanda about that. So... I won't even say anything. Just ask her. Go,
yeah.
Hey, tell her exactly that and see what she says.
So, and then after a while, like, because in the beginning, there was a couple things going on, whatever. And then it was like, when we first moved down here, that was the worst. Because it's like, the numbers are one thing. Writing everything on a piece of paper is one thing.
Yep.
Living it's something else. So there's a few times it's like...
Like when you move here, like in San Diego, you paid gas.
Yeah.
Gas and electric was one place. Yeah. Water was another.
Yeah.
Not here. You got to pay a deposit for gas, a deposit for electric.
Yeah.
Like, To get your shit turned on here, it's like $1,000. In San Diego, it's like $100.
Yeah. So I would just tell her, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I was just saying it to calm her down.
Right.
So she would be like, okay. And then whatever would show up, right?
Bam, yep. When you need it, it'll appear.
And then after a while, it was like, she would call me and she'd be like, what are your hours at for the week? And I'd be like, this. And she's like, well, we need it to be this because we need this much money in the bank when you know what I mean? And I'd be like, okay. And like, it sounds horrible, but like, I worked the best. I was the most clear-headed. I was the most calm. But if it's like, if I'm running after some fucking pistol I want, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm all over the place trying to scrounge up to it, but it's like, there's no money to pay the bills.
Well, the real answer...
You need to figure it out.
The real answer when there's no money to pay the bills...
I don't know how to tap into that.
Sell that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Sell the bullshit.
Yeah.
I never have.
Sell the bullshit?
Never have.
I've never sold...
But that's your answer. Like, that's your immediate fix.
There was one thing I've sold...
The dudes you see whining the most on Facebook, guys we know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I've cut all those dudes out.
Right.
Like, I don't see them. I've made it so I can't see them.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about them. Dudes like that, always asking for money or whatever.
Yeah.
They ain't here asking to work.
No.
And you don't see them selling shit.
I sold one thing once, a couple years ago. It was the 4th car in the fleet to pay for Christmas. Seriously. Because, like, I had... the 2 cars were leases. We didn't have an option. We had to pay that bill, right? And I had bought 2 other cars on ridiculous deal. Like, we took the money out of the savings, cleared the savings, because I knew I was going to make money on it. You know what I mean? And the one dude at work, I was like, I need to sell this. And he was like, the car was probably worth $5,000. And he was like, I'll give you $2,700 for it. And I was like, no. And then we went back and forth. And I logged into the bank account. And I called him. I said, I need the cash tomorrow. And he was like, I'll bring you the cash tomorrow. So, and I still broke even on the car. Like, I still, like, didn't even lose. But, like, that was the only thing. And then, luckily, I sold it because it needs air suspension and all this other stuff. I mean, it would have cost me more money.
So what changed?
What do you mean?
Why doesn't that happen anymore?
You get complacent. You get
No. But what changed in your life that those things don't happen anymore?
Well, we got smarter. Life got better. I don't know, man. It's just things change.
Your life always seems to work. How?
I just make sure I pretend very well that everything is
like I've never heard you ever one time that I can remember in fucking the last 30 years worried about money ever.
I'll give you this output from the outside. I think you're a millionaire.
I mean,
none of my business. Don't care either way. I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know if I don't think that's important. I mean, I don't think like worrying about money, especially like worrying about money. I don't think that's important. I mean, I don't know.
What do you mean it's not important? What aspect of not worrying? Like, because you can spend like crazy and then not have enough coming in, and then there's a worry.
It's not important. It's not important in the sense of like money from the sense of, I don't know, like doing things to make more money.
Okay.
Money does not. I don't want to say it doesn't make me happy, because it makes me very happy when I go and buy guns. When I can go, oh, I'm going to buy that gun right there.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm buying that gun. That makes me happy. But I mean, just the pursuit of money and the worrying about money. Like, I don't worry about bills. Not the sense that I just throw my money away, because I do when I buy guns, but
you can.
I mean,
you've always been ahead. You've always been ahead. Then
I've not always been ahead. I have been behind, and I'm actually behind right now.
On what?
I'm still paying on money that I had to fucking burn while I was in California.
Right.
You know, it could have already been paid off. Like, it could have been paid off, but I have consciously made a decision to buy a gun instead.
I get it.
So, I mean, I still have that overhead, but the way I look at it is, what's the worst possible thing that could happen? They could come take the tractor tomorrow, or, you know, next month, because I can't pay for the tractor. They could come. I mean, I have a truck that's completely paid off. It's a piece of shit. It's not a piece of shit. It's done good for me. But I have a vehicle that's completely paid off.
Up to 10 years ago,
I got a vehicle that's completely paid off. You know, I got one car that's completely paid off. I mean, the reality is all I would have to do is make the house payment. I could really fucking, if I had to, I could go to Walmart and make that payment. So why worry about...
I agree.
When I say
why worry about that?
That's what I mean ahead. You got to make, like, if you make smart financial decisions, like, right? Like, you could have bought... I don't make any smart financial decisions.
So
you could have bought a $2 million house, theoretically, right? And you bought a $300,000 house, for example, right? Like,
yeah, whatever.
Okay, so, worst case scenario, everything goes tits up and you get a job at Walmart working 36 hours a month, a week.
I'm talking about even back, like, just leaving California, your money doubles. Like, on paper, maybe not, but it really, your money doubles.
Right. You probably had a bigger house here. Your house bigger is probably either the same or bigger here. You got way more land than you did there, 100%. And it was probably half the price.
Yeah, the difference would be if, let's say I was still in California, that financial fucking monkey that was on my back that whole time would still be there. Right. There, at no point would I be going, okay, I'm going to pay this off. Right. I'm going to pay this credit card off so I was using the credit cards to ensure that I could still live that not live the California life, but you know, it's that thing.
Right.
Insurance, all the shit stacks up there and it's much more expensive. So that kind of stacked on top of each other, and
you come out here and your money went.
You come out here and now, like, I'm actually paying all that shit off. So it's definitely better out here. I don't know. I mean,
everything was like, it was just always drilled into you. Especially when you started listening to the prepper stuff and like lifestyle design shit, was like, never use credit. Don't ever use credit. And I didn't. Like, I had no credit. Like, my credit score, I got a notification today that my credit score is 780. Fucking 2 years ago when I started using credit, my credit was like 600. If
I could just
go, stop doing that shit. Just fucking do it. You spend so much time fucking asking.
As a prepper, the credit should be the greatest thing ever. Like,
yes, but most people that you and I know are not using credit the way credit. They're using credit to get something that they can't afford.
Right.
I can afford it.
Yeah.
I only used credit to buy shit I was gonna fucking pay cash for anyways.
Yeah.
That's how I use the credit. That's in California. That's how I use it. I said, you know what? The world's going to end in 4 years, and none of this credit.
I believe
that. Right.
I believe that.
As a prepper, you would think like, "Fuck, who gives a shit? Fuck it."
I believed that. That's you're standing. That's why we have rooms that look like this, right?
Yeah.
But everything in this room at this point, it's good for another 50 years. Like, worst case, like and the toilet, like all the toilet. We have a whole fucking wall. There's probably $5,000 of toilet paper.
It's good shit too.
Short of a tornado, well, even down here, that's not a worry. Like, the toilet paper's never going down.
Even if the room leaked, if the room leaked,
we have a drain.
You'd still need something to pierce the bag, and then the other bag to ruin the toilet paper.
So I mean, like, credit now, like the Kubota, like I'm buying a Kubota tractor, 0% for 6 years. Why the fuck wouldn't you just buy the fucking tractor at 0%?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I said earlier when they're giving money away for free, like in all aspects. Like that tractor, like. I had no concept of what a tractor cost till he started throwing numbers out there, and I was like, "Holy fuck it!" Like, are you like
$100,000? And that's not even the shit that goes on the tractor.
And then I was like, "You don't need it. We're only using it once a week." You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep. What's it cost to rent it? Because the logical mind in me, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're giving it to me for free. Like, it's free money. If you can't go get free money, then you've done so much irresponsible stuff.
Maybe.
And the other thing too,
come on,
when you say that though, we only use it a couple times a week. The rental place
is killing it.
Bought a new tractor.
I paid for a new tractor.
John Willis money.
Yeah.
So that's short term.
I never met the owner.
That's renting a refrigerator or renting your oven.
I'm excited for the tractor to come. You know what I mean? Like, but
since you've been here.
Yeah.
Well, all along, how many times?
Just since I've been employed, we've rented 2.
Right, but you've been coming here for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen a tractor here?
All the time.
All the time there was tractor, multiple.
That first year, that tractor was here the entire year.
I paid $2,000 a month. $2,000 a week? No, I don't know.
No,
A lot.
Yeah, I paid a lot.
I paid a fucking lot. $4,000. It was $4,000 a month to have 2 tractors sitting here. We used them all the time.
They had just an open cage. They just had an open cage.
Wasn't even anything nice.
That
no,
new one out there?
nice.
Yeah.
They bought that off
Open
my
cage. So they had that. That's what we had here.
That's
we
probably who's trying to get you not to buy a
We
tractor.
continuously use that fucking thing. We continuously use that thing all the time.
Even in the winter, snow.
Then I can't remember why we sent it back. It was something, maybe I think Christmas time or something. But we sent the tractors back. John's like, we'll get them, send them back. They can just bring them whenever. So we get the next tractor, and it comes, and it's fucking closed, air conditioned, everything. And when he pulled it off the truck, he said, because of the rental from here, that's how we were able to buy this new tractor.
Now he's got 4 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still running on with the same question. You need to make a decision, and it may be hypocritical coming from me, but you need to make a decision, and you just to go fucking do it. Like, and it's
you made some decisions. How many people told you not to come fucking work here?
Everybody except 3.
And what are they doing? Like, I don't even know who they are.
Doesn't matter.
But they're still telling you the same shit, and they're still saying the same shit now they were saying a fucking year.
Is it easy? No. And it's not the work, and it's not the work and like that. That's the stuff that I thought was going to be hard. It's not hard. There's things you have to adapt. Is it awesome being away from the person that you love 5 days a week? No. The reality of it is it's really not more than an extra day or 2 a week that I wasn't seeing her regularly. But
add the hours up. How many hours?
This week we had the greatest date we've probably had in 5 years on Saturday, and it cost me a fuck ton of money. And I like, if she called me and she's like, we're going out this next Saturday and it's going to cost just as much and we're going to spend 3.5 fucking hours in a restaurant, just me and you, I'd be like, fucking you make the reservation wherever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't bat an eye, because I had a friend of mine told me a long time ago, it's about the experience. Like, you'll never regret paying for an experience. You know what I mean? Like, you go on a trip and you have an experience and you have fun. You can't, like, depending on how much money you spent, depending on how much fun you had, is it worth it or is it not? The whole time I kept saying, like I had to get off my seat and go put more money in the parking meter, because, like, who's going to eat dinner for 2 hours, right? Like, we were there for 3.5 fucking hours, and I was like, you were like, why didn't you take a bunch of pictures? And I was like, I had my phone down. Like, we were having fun. We were joking with the people next to us. The waitress, the general manager, the chef came out. Like, it was worth every fucking penny. And if I told people how much we spent for dinner too, they'd fucking shit their pants.
No.
But it was every fucking penny. We left like...
I say the phone thing because you were invited by the head chef of a brand new restaurant.
Correct.
To come in and eat, and you were fucking hooked up and taken care of off menu.
Yes,
lot of shit.
Yes.
You owe them some fucking pictures.
While I was sitting there, I had already left a review on Google and Facebook. Like, I did all that stuff. And I will get the pictures and I will put them back out.
Because when you have the photos in your phone and Google says, would you like to leave a review?
Yeah.
You fucking put the pictures in the review.
Yeah.
So that people see that shit. People, like, when I go to a restaurant, in the next fucking 60 days, 20 people that know me are going to go to that fucking restaurant. Yeah. People are like, why do we want to see what you ate? It's not about you, shithead.
I eat at Nemo because of you. And there's sushi. There's a sushi place I could walk from my house to a sushi restaurant. That's not that bad. Like, it'll get the food done. We go to Noma because we go there because of you. Because we knew that chef there. I mean, he's no longer there, but like,
yeah, I've known 3 or 4 chefs there. So that's what that's about. As far as the job, I don't understand I don't know. But we've been in here fucking a long time. 7:05. 2 hour there's your 2 hour podcast, guys. All right. We'll finish the rest of this tomorrow. You got anything to add?
No.
No.
I don't have anything.
Use our Amazon. Buy our shit.
Yeah, use the Amazon link. I would use it if the Amazon sold guns, but they don't. So John's missing out on a lot of sales. Amazon, step up your game. Start selling guns. I mean, if you're gonna have drones that deliver shit right to people's house, no one needs to know that you're doing it. So just do it anyways. Amazon, come on. You're gonna get blimps, for Christ's sake.
You can probably buy Kubota parts. Have you had to have any service done yet?
No.
Are they going to pick it up and come service it?
Not for it's 50 hour, so you have a 50-hour service.
They come there and do it?
I bought all the stuff to do it. I've already like watch 10 videos on it. It's fucking easy. It's
oil change,
change the transmission filter, and something else.
So I had their tractors.
grease fitting shit.
Yeah,
I had their tractors long enough that they came here and serviced them.
Yeah.
I have that guy's phone number.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually pretty good. Because he's going to know, that guy was pretty good.
He's going to be like, hey, we should sell these other ones and buy these ones these SOE guys have. These things are badass. All right, guys.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Just do some real shit, man. Whatever it is you do, just fucking do it 100%.